At the beginning of the week, Chinese citizens in the province of Henan were continuing to demand their money back from the local banks who took their deposits and haven't let them withdraw any of it since April. The banks promised high interest rates for customer accounts and after collecting the equivalent of 6 billion USD, shut down their website and closed their branches. The Chinese government stepped in and sent tanks to the city to scare the rioters away. This comes at the same time that Chinese citizens decided to stop paying their mortgages on incomplete or stalled real estate projects worth upwards of 370 billion US dollars. A massive heat wave across the northern hemisphere is causing wildfires and death. In Europe alone, the death count has already passed 1,000. Central bankers around the world are raising interest rates as rapid inflation is destroying the purchasing power of middle and low income households. That being said, if you have booked an airplane ticket, you might be in luck of making some money. Among a shortage of workers, high demand, and high flight cancellations, some people are selling their plane seats for way more than they paid. The European Commission urged member countries earlier this week to cut gas usage by 15% amid fears of reduced supply from Russia. On Thursday, this turned out to be true after the Nord Stream 1 pipeline resumed at only 40% capacity. Ukraine and Russia will sign a deal on Friday in Istanbul to resume grain exports from Ukraine's Black Sea ports. Brokered by the UN and Turkey's president, the agreement would unblock about 18 million tons of Ukrainian grain awaiting export. Russia's blockade of Ukraine's ports has sent global food prices surging and exacerbated world hunger. The oil of the 21st century, computer chips, are putting the US and China on a crash course collision. Computer chips are used in absolutely everything, and the US outsourced the invention to Asian countries decades ago, one of which, Taiwan. They now manufacture over 90% of all high-end computer chips. The US is trying to get that manufacturing back. A $50 billion bill, nicknamed the CHIPS Act, has passed a procedural Senate vote of 64-34. The bill will now travel to the House for passage before it heads to President Joe Biden's desk for signature into law. This bill would give computer chip companies like Intel, TSMC, Samsung, and more up to $3 billion in subsidies for each factory in the US. During all of this, China claims Taiwan is a part of its country. Why am I saying this though? Because the conflict between the United States and China will only grow, and semiconductors and containing China are a massive priority for the US.